Good morning, you guys. It's Tuesday morning. It's time to rise and thrive. That's what we're supposed to be doing every single day. So, this is a podcast to bring you positivity, success stories, and a little bit of inspiration and motivation, or a lot of inspiration and motivation, based on the four principles that are most important in my life, being faith, family, fitness, and finances. Not in any particular order, but kind of. And every week, my goal is to bring to you someone that's focused either on all four of those, one of those, something to do with one of the four of those, so that you can leave or watch this replay wherever you find it with some kind of inspiration to help you find your purpose in life, find your happiness, find inner peace, and create your best life ever. So this morning, I have Ericka Braun with me. Good morning, Ericka.
Good morning.
Ericka, you guys, is a mom, a wife, a business owner. She's got a servant's heart. She is involved in all kinds of things for the good of the world and the good of people. So, Ericka, for those that don't know you, can you share a little bit of your backstory, please?
Yes, so I'm a mom of three. I have a 14-year-old and a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old. They keep me pretty busy. Our 14-year-old is my bonus son, so we drive back and forth a lot with him. But he's now playing high school golf, and our younger two are involved in sports and all the things. I've always been very involved in their school. I'm an educator by background. I was an educator for about 12 years, and then once I had kids of my own, I kind of hung up that hat and just became as involved as I could in their school and their activities, which now has led me to actually start a nonprofit that is supporting my daughter's current school. Belle and Brooke are enrolled. This is Belle's second year, Brooke's first year at Peak Academy, which is right across the street from Trisha. We have the best neighbor ever. Um, and basically, I have found the perfect school in the nation, I believe. I have the most qualified teachers who will be my daughter's teachers for their schooling until they graduate high school, if I have anything to say about it, but at least through eighth grade. And they will be basically teaching my children every day for the next 12 years. And I think that everybody, yes, thank you so much. Sorry, Starbucks. Um, and I think that every kid should, I don't feel like my kids are in any kind of way to deserve this. I think that this is what all kids should deserve. And this is what they need to thrive. And so I have started a nonprofit with two other amazing moms at my school. And we are dedicated to raising money to fund scholarships and learning space at micro schools. And we're choosing one micro school at a time. And we're starting with Peak Academy. And we are so excited to start this.
I love all of that. And you guys, just like a little bit backstory. I didn't know Ericka prior to any of this. As you all know, I'm in real estate. And so we have a training facility and an event center, and a property across the street from us went on the market. And I met the teachers that she's talking about and was out showing them property. And we ended up getting them into this property across the street from us. God had his hand on the entire thing, every property that we looked at, every situation that we encountered, down to the fundraising, down to the funding, like everything just aligned. And it was amazing and beautiful to watch. And then the transformation of their school, the property that they bought, was like another thing. Just God's hand was all over it. And through it all, I've met Ericka, and it's like, Ericka is involved in according to the teachers, like she's so busy, she's got everything going on under the sun. Like they don't know how she's has time to be a mom or do anything else, because she's out there just crusading to better the world. Where does all of that come from, Ericka?
I think it's how I've always been. Always felt fulfilled when I can do for others and give a good cause. And recently, since I've had kids, I mean, really, it just, I try and loop them into everything. So the other boards that I'm on, they're involved. I mean, yesterday I'm on a board in my neighborhood, and we're just starting a fall cleanup. So I had the girls and all their friends out cleaning up trash, um, and they helped me with weekend events and just think that it's normal. And so really inspiring to be able to inspire them to want to do good and just to normalize that it's not just about us, it's about everybody. And I mean, anything that they're involved in, I become involved in. And so really it's just kind of an extension of being a mom and a parent. Um, and so that's really how I find the time, is just including my children in everything.
We're getting a little bit of not a good signal from you. It's breaking up a whole lot. If there's any way to like move a little bit, maybe. I'm not sure. Hopefully, everyone else is getting.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Oh, there. Is that better?
We're about to find out.
Uh-oh.
Let's talk about the micro schooling thing. So, you guys, Peak Academy is the school that opened up right across the street from us. Ericka, can you kind of give the backstory on what micro schooling is? Because there's a lot of people that don't know that term.
Absolutely. So a micro school is a type of private school. It's very small. So our micro school has a 10-to-1 student teacher ratio. So my children there get plenty of small group time, individual time, whatever time they need from the teachers can give it to them because they have so few kids. But the amazing thing, the most important thing about our micro school is that the kids or the teachers have full autonomy. And so there's nobody who is telling them what to do. There's no bureaucracy. There's no state board involved. There's no school board involved. These teachers are incredibly experienced, very talented, very knowledgeable, extremely passionate. They know what they need to teach, they know how to teach it, and they're not micromanaged. As a parent, I fully support them, and I know the kind of teachers that they are. And so I don't have to manage them either. I send my kids. I know that they're learning. My children are thriving. My 4-year-old is reading everything, which I never thought was possible at this age. And they are loving school, but it's not just about the academics. They're teaching them how to be humans, how to be kind people, how to accept differences in their friends and in other people's backgrounds, and what's accommodating for everybody's interests. And what my kids are interested in, they will find a way to relate that back to what they're learning. um, and they can do that because they have the flexibility and the autonomy to say, I know what these kids need to learn. I just want to teach. And so they started this micro school, and the tuition is not outrageously expensive, but it is a financial sacrifice for our families. But we've all committed to, we know this is what our kids need, and we've all made that decision to send our kids there. Uh, but it's not enough money to necessarily run a school, and with the overhead and the salaries. And so that's kind of where I stepped in and said, let me help you with scholarships for students who may be receiving tuition discounts, and to help be able to fund the learning space. What do they need? Well, first they really needed a building, and that's
Yeah.
when thank thank the good Lord that we found you and we got that building. And so, then they needed flooring and they needed painting, and we've had some very generous donors that we are so appreciative of. But as you can imagine, building out a school And creating all these learning spaces takes a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
So that is that is my number one goal for this year, is to be able to get all of the students fully funded, um, all the scholarships fully funded, I should say, and then to just work on things around the school.
So is the micro school, is that a new concept? Because I had never heard of it until I met you guys.
I hadn't heard of it till I met them either. And I was like, what is this?
Right.
Um, and so the word is, honestly, I have no clue how long they've been around, but the concept is really been around forever. It's kind of like a one room schoolhouse type concept. I mean, it's just a different setup. It can be a micro school for anything. Lots of micro schools do homesteading, or they're heavily focused on STEM, or, they'll have little niches. But I mean, a micro school is just a small school, and that they are. But I think a lot of teachers are getting burned out from being in the public school.
Yeah.
And most private schools, I mean, for them to take that, I mean, they're taking massive pay cuts to go to a private school. Um, and so this is really, I mean, this is going to be the new thing. And once we have, you know, been able to financially support Peak Academy, we'll move on to the next micro school and empower more teachers to leave the public school system and have the freedom and flexibility to do what they know how to do best.
Which is
I mean, our
teach.
teachers, right, our teachers there have over, I think it's over 70 years of experience. And they came out of
Wow.
Katy and Lamar. So they were receiving incredible professional development. All that they have learned in their teaching careers there, as far as the new practices and the new science and the new data, and um, I mean, how to teach everything. I mean, they've been involved in all of that. So these are highly trained teachers. I mean, no one really needs to tell them how to teach what we already know is supposed to be taught. So
So the
I think this
concept
is
is,
really,
they
yeah, go
go
ahead.
from age 4 to 14, right?
Right now, that's their age group. But, my daughter was, I mean, it depends on the child.
Okay.
So my daughter was, 4.5, and she knew them. She was familiar with them. She had already been accustomed to them just being up there and hanging out. So she wasn't like a new four. She was ready to go. She was comfortable on her own.
Okay.
And then, if we have a 16-year-old who has needs that will fit in with 14-year-olds, I think that they would consider it. So it's basically, everything is about what the children need. So right
So it's
now, the
tailored
children
to
that
the
they're
individual.
serving, absolutely,
Okay.
yes. And just
And so
because
do
my daughter is 7, she's not learning everything that all the other 7-year-olds are learning. Each of them is learning at their own pace for each subject.
okay. So do they follow like the normal school year? Do they follow the normal school day?
They do follow the normal school year. The school day is actually a little bit shorter, um, because they're so small. I mean, the school is basically work hard, play harder. So they get their work done, but then they have the whole last hour of school is our pillar time. So that's kind of where we do our projects. I go up there one day a week and I do outdoor learning with all the life sciences, the butterflies, the bees, the flowers, the plants, the bugs. We're going to get chickens. And so that's kind of our, that's my thing on Tuesdays. We have a parent who comes up and does break dancing
Oh,
on
wow.
Wednesdays. What? Yes, and I mean that's great. That's great for the
Yeah.
kids. And then Mondays, we have a parent who teaches history because she's passionate about history. So she goes into all the history of, right now I think they're focusing on U.S. history. Um, and so it's very flexible, the time, because they get so much work done during the day. They're just very efficient with their work. And we're really trying to build in more learning experiences off campus. Um, and so that's kind of looks like field trips, but we've made connections with people who can give us a deeper and richer experience, because of our network and people wanting to support these small schools.
It's funny because I was just listening to a podcast 2 days ago, and it was Grant Cardone, who's like a very famous, entrepreneur. And I was listening to him talk about homeschooling. And his
Hmm.
oldest daughter is 15 years old. She'll finish her. She's a senior this year. She will graduate at 15 years old, and she's ready for college. And he said the
Wow.
reason that he opted to take both his kids out of public school and do the homeschooling thing was he didn't want them to learn about drugs. He didn't want them to learn about drinking. He didn't want them to learn about having sex at a young age. He didn't want them to learn about having a sex change, like all things that are
Mm.
against like morals. Like he said, I'd rather
Yes.
keep them at home where I know what they're learning. I can control their environment, and they're going to grow up to be productive citizens of society. And that sounds like what micro school is, but it's just done in a small group, not individual, like at your home. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And knowing that, and that's a big concern for a lot of us parents is, what are our kids exposed to? Which I can take them to Chick-fil-A and they're going to be exposed to things that I don't
Yes.
want them to be. But I'm there with them and I can control the conversation that happens afterwards. But when they're at school, I don't worry about any of that. If some kid says a word that I don't want my, 4-year-old to hear, the teachers are there and they are so grounded in their morals and their values and their convictions. They're going to be having those conversations, and I don't have to worry about that because I know our values are aligned. And so when I drop them off at school, I trust them wholeheartedly with every aspect of my children's development, from their intellectual development, but also their social, emotional, their moral development, all of that. And that is a blessing, just like homeschool, except I've actually found teachers to do this. And so my kids are learning how to interact with each other appropriately, how to say, hey, that's not okay to say. We don't talk like that. Or, yes, you made a mistake, but I forgive you. All of those things. And I mean, it's basically like a big family up there at Peak.
And I think it's super cool because always, homeschool's been around forever. And I always commend the moms. So a lot of times it's the moms doing it. And I always commend the moms like, oh, how in the world
Right.
you have the patience and the tolerance to do that's a gift to be able to teach all day long. But then I always worried about like
Yes.
kids that are homeschooled not being socially interactive and even knowing how to go out there and function in the real world. And it sounds like micro school is bringing the best of both worlds, where you've got that small, controlled environment of good people that are like minded, and they're getting that one
Absolutely.
on one education,
Absolutely. Yes.
which you
Yes.
can't beat that, especially in the world that we live in that continues to get crazier and more dysfunctional. I think this is going to be something that takes off.
It is, and it is absolutely, and I mean, that's the blessing of having Peak Academy to be a model for other micro schools to help support other teachers. The micro school community is extremely supportive. The amount of knowledge and shared resources that is shared among these teachers, it's not competitive. It's all for the kids, and that's what's lost in public schools
Oh, yeah.
these days, and even some private schools. But I mean, this is a decision that teachers make because they love teaching and they know how to give the kids what they need. And so the micro school community is extremely supportive. And when you have a model school like Peak Academy, and teachers can look at them and ask them, how did you do it? What did you do? What was your first step? What was your next step? Who did you use for this? What professional do I need to reach out to for that?
Yeah.
And now that we've created our network and we've done all the hard work, um, now they're set up as a model, and we can continue to support this movement through them serving as a model, but also through Peak Proud being able to financially support teachers as they make this leap of faith and leave the public schools and go into starting their own.
I love that. When you look at like Peak and the whole micro school thing, is there a micro school network? Like, are they able to collaborate with other schools and vice versa?
Yes, they do,
I,
and a lot of it is social media.
yeah,
So they're on Facebook, Texas Micro Schools. But then there's a really cool, amazing micro school in Austin, and it's called the Longview School. And I was actually able to go up there this summer with the teachers, and we learn how their focus is math, and the way that they teach math is just mind blowing. And I can't imagine the kids that come out of there. But I met a 16-year-old, and she's, oh my goodness, she was just brilliant. And she was a better teacher than, I mean, 90% of the math teachers I ever had. And
wow.
she was studying to be an aerospace engineer, and I was like, yeah, well, I believe that at 16 years old. Yep, I, no doubt in my mind.
Yes.
And so we're the founders of Peak Academy are extremely close with the founders of that school. So you just kind of find your people, and it's very easy to find your people that you network with, and everybody wants to support you. Everybody wants you to succeed, because this is exactly what the kids need. And the minute that you experience even 30 minutes of it, but the minute you walk through their school, you will know this is what kids need, this is what they deserve. And Peak Academy is doing that.
So when you, I'm sure everyone watching this with kids is going to be like, how do I get my kid in one? Is there a max capacity for kids? Like, are you at capacity?
We're almost. So we have only a few spots left, and we are expecting those to fill. We have a few that are waiting, and they're in the queue, but we do expect it to fill before the semester. Um, but there are, I mean, that's the only micro school that I know of in this area right now. Um, but you should definitely, you can easily reach out to the teachers. You can get online, fill out a form if you would like to contact them. We also have times during the day where, people, if you're in the community and you feel like you have something to offer, our pillar time, that is the last hour of the day, that's a great time for community members to become involved, or to give a little speech, or, share your experience, or um, your your career. Um, and yeah, yes, I mean, it's easy. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram. But yes, I mean, reach out however you want to be involved, whatever you want to learn more about. There's many of us who can talk to you about anything.
Erica, what do you think is your biggest need right now for Peak and that academy and to get them to where they need to be? So because I know expansion is definitely in the future and like you said, opening more micro schools. What do you guys need so that consumers watching this could get involved?
Um, right now, we're really focusing on the scholarships in the space. So we really need funds, and we need a fence built around the school. We're wanting to enclose the garage and make that another learning space. Um, and that would be a more flexible learning space. I mean, we have playground equipment that we would like to add to our backyard so that the kids have more to do outside. So we have a long list of improvements, but really money is is
Yep.
what would help more than anything, to get us to where we need to be. And yeah.
Okay. Erica, for people that want to go and look at like the website or reach out or find out more information, where can they find that kind of information?
You can go to peakproud.org, and that's a link to my website. And then you can go to peakacademytexas.org, and that's the school's website. And then you can find us on Facebook and the the school is on Instagram, and the nonprofit is also on Instagram. So,
And you
and I
guys,
can give you
Peak is
those links
spelled,
later.
yeah, Peak is spelled Peak. And I get to I
Yes.
have the beauty of watching the school right across the street from me, and when I'm outside, I can hear the kids outside playing. I know the teachers personally, and they are just all with servants' hearts to make this place, amazing, and the kids to have the best experience of their entire life, and they're the most gracious and patient people ever. It's amazing.
Yes.
It is, and
Yes.
I never understood the concept as I was, like, showing property to them. I didn't really know. I was like, I have a special needs son, so I was like, "Is it a school for special needs? Is it a school for, like, what is it a school?" And now, like, Ericka has explained, because there's a lot of people that have asked, "Well, what is it?" And I'm like, "It's hard to explain, but it's not hard to explain. It's just a different concept."
Right.
It's like homeschooling
Absolutely. And it's
meets
the
public school. It's super awesome. Ericka,
yes,
you guys have a fundraiser
absolutely.
coming up too, don't you? I think we're losing you.
Um, we do. We were going. Can you hear me?
Not really.
Uh, I'm gonna have to. Uh, uh, all right. I'm driving now, so we do have a fundraiser coming up. We are scheduled to have a at the hub, and that's November. And we are going to talk about, this one is more just about bringing in awareness to what Peak is and what we do, and then how Peak Proud supports Peak Academy, and really trying to just get support from the community members, from business owners, from families who have a heart for this. And we'll have some fundraising with that. But this is mostly geared towards people who just want to know more about us, or who want to offer their support in whatever capacity that is.
I love it. Ericka, we're going to be sharing all kinds of information for everyone out there about Peak, about how they can get involved, what is micro schools, and we're super excited to watch you guys grow and bloom and change the lives of kids and their parents. I think it's amazing.
Yes, well, it is. And we thank you so much for finding
Oh,
this wonderful space for us, and for all you've done with lending your space out behind you when we were in a bind. And it's a wonderful partner. It's a wonderful partnership to have, and we are blessed to have you, Trisha.
right back at you. You guys make sure and go out there and support this, because this is, and you'll see, if you're not in the Houston area, you're probably going to see micro schools in other areas. They may already be there. And if they're not, maybe you need to start one yourself or get involved and learn how to do that. And I'm certain they can reach out to you, Ericka, to ask questions about that, correct?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. You
I may
guys
not
reach
have
out
the
to us.
answer, but I can find somebody who
And y'all can reach out to us too. We're right across the street from them. Happy to connect and be a resource for everybody. Thank you so much for doing this today, Ericka.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yes, you guys have an awesome day. Bye, y'all.
Okay. Bye.